Now, here's your host, Jim Gaver.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you. Well, one of our finalists has been determined. Powers will be in our championship game shortly, facing one of these two teams who we are about to meet now. First, from Davison High School, we have Lori Inman. Lori is a sophomore. Activities include yearbook, PACE, SAD chapter, and student government. Is undecided on a college right now, but wants to go into education and teaching. Blair Lorimer is a junior at Davison. Blair's activities include tennis. He enjoys all sorts of sports. Also undecided on a college, but will follow a journalism track. John Bravender is captain of the Davison team. John is a senior, National Merit Scholarship finalist. His activities include Civil Air Patrol, marching band, Science Olympiad, National Honor Society, and of course the Quiz Bowl team. Plans on going into Air Force ROTC when he gets to college, and then on to be work in aeronautical engineering, possibly in computer programming. Sean Crawford rounds out the Davison team. Sean is a junior, enjoys collecting sports cards, is looking at the University of Michigan, or GMI, to study computer science. Those are our players from our semifinalist team, Davison High School. The team is coached by Paul Hewitt, and alternates with the team are Brad Sanford, Derek Fizackerly, Stephen Zemer, Jeff Haw, and Michelle DeBuck. So we welcome all of you from Davison, and congratulations on your semifinal status, as we congratulate our team and players from North Branch. And there we have Jacob Allen. Jacob is a senior, a National Merit semifinalist, enjoys computer programming, undecided on college, but wants to go into computer engineering. Ryan Arnhold is the captain of the North Branch team. Ryan is a senior, enjoys cross-country track, chess, line soccer, tennis, and also active in the National Honor Society. Is looking at Duke or the University of Michigan to study engineering. Bob Peplinski is a sophomore at North Branch, enjoys playing golf, plays chess, tennis, and table tennis. Also undecided on a college, but wants to eventually have a career in music. And Grant Anderson rounds out the North Branch team. Grant is a senior. Activities include senior class president and president of the student council at North Branch. Is looking at the Marine Corps delayed entry program and wants to make a career out of the Marine Corps and become an officer. Those are our players for North Branch. The team is coached by Gordon Winther. Alternates include Kara Kohler, Walter Pulowski, Rasmus Jarlov, and Mark Carell. We welcome all of you. We remind you that High School Challenge, as it has been throughout the season, is judged by Bill Deacon of Genesee Intermediate School District. Our timekeeper, scorekeeper for this semifinal game is April Bradley. Teams, congratulations on getting to the Final Four. Soon one of you will remain, and here are your rules for round one. I'll ask you a series of questions. They're each worth 10 points. The player buzzing first may answer when I recognize you. If you're incorrect, the other team gets a shot at the same question. Remember, you may interrupt me at any time I'm asking a question. There's no point penalty if you're incorrect. Over at that point, I'd repeat the entire question for the other team. There's the bell to start round one. Good luck. Here we go. From 1529 to 1532, he was Chancellor of England. In 1935, on the 400th anniversary of his execution for Blair Davison.
Oliver Cromwell.
That's incorrect. From 1529 to 1532, he was Chancellor of England. In 1935, on the 400th anniversary of his execution for treason, he was canonized. Who is this Sir and Saint? Time's up. Thomas More is the correct answer. Here's your next toss-up. CBS laughs all the way to the bank. Really big shoe, and it's time for L.A. to nip New York stuff in the Larry Bud, were newspaper headlines reporting his move from Grant, North Branch.
David Letterman.
That's correct. Another toss-up. In 1722, he published 3 books. Colonel Jack, A Journal of the Plague Year, Ryan, North Branch.
Defoe.
Defoe is correct. The residents have reaffirmed their ties to Great Britain, although the governments of Argentina and Chile... Ryan, North Branch.
Falkland Islands.
Falkland Islands is the correct answer. For helium, it's 0. For carbon, it's 4. But for chlorine, it can be 7, 5, 3, 1, or Sean Davison.
The number of neutron?
That's incorrect. For helium, it's 0. For carbon, it's 4. But for chlorine, it can be 7, 5, 3, 1, or -1, depending on the chemical compound. What do chemists call these integers that indicate the combining power of elements? Ryan, North Branch.
Oxidation number?
Oxidation number is acceptable. That is correct. Also accept valency or valence are correct answers there. Here's your next toss-up, teams. In 1815, Thomas Young lamented that, quote, unfortunately, a considerable part of the first inscription is wanting. The beginning of the second and the end of the third are also mutilated, so we have no precise points of coincidence to decipher the unknown characters, end quote. Sean Davison.
Hieroglyphic?
That's incorrect. In 1815, Thomas Young lamented that, quote, unfortunately, a considerable part of the first inscription is wanting. The beginning of the second and the end of the third are also mutilated, so we have no precise points of coincidence to decipher the unknown characters, end quote. What British Museum treasure was he talking about? North Branch, Jacob.
Rosetta Stone?
Rosetta Stone is the correct answer. Daniel Graysolon, Graysolon, explored the Great Lakes region in the 17th century, but he did not establish the third largest city in Minnesota, an international port. Sean Davison.
Duluth?
Duluth is correct. The number 1,729 is unusual because it's the sum of the cubes of two different pairs of integers. In one solution, the sum of the integers is 13. In the other, their sum is 19. Name either pair of integers. Time's up. Time's up. I had to call it. The pairs are 1 and 12 or 9 and 10. And here's your next toss-up. It was an architectural style characterized by massive barrel vaults, few windows, and Bob, North Branch.
Romanesque?
Romanesque is correct. It was a miracle of rare device, a sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice. Where was this miraculous dome built according to Samuel Taylor Coleridge? Ryan, North Branch.
Xanadu?
Xanadu is correct. Here's your next toss-up. They were the highest civil authority of the ancient Roman Republic. There were two of them. Jacob, North Branch.
Tribunes?
It's incorrect. They were the highest civil authority of the ancient Roman Republic. There were two of them who commanded the army and presided over the Senate for a year. What were these chief magistrates called? Sean Davison.
Consulate?
Say it again, please.
Consulate?
That's incorrect. Consuls is the answer I needed. Adolf Hitler called him the perfect specimen of the master race. He was world heavyweight champion from 1930 to 1930. Ryan, North Branch.
Schlumberg?
That's incorrect. Adolf Hitler called him the perfect specimen of the master race. He was world heavyweight champion from 1930 to 1932. In 1936, he knocked out Joe Louis. In 1938, in a symbolic showdown between democracy and dictatorship, Louis knocked him down in the first round. Who was this German fighter? Sean Davison.
Frazier?
It's also incorrect. I think you had the right person. Max Schmeling is the answer I needed. To a biologist, it's an exoskeleton. To a physicist or chemist, it designates the energy level of the electrons. Lori Davison.
Shell?
Shell is the correct answer. It's another toss-up, teams. In 1755, he was imprisoned in Venice, but made a daring escape to Paris, where he made a fortune as director of the state lottery. In 1758, he became the librarian at the Castle of Dux in Bohemia, where he wrote his memories. Ryan, North Branch.
Dumas?
That's incorrect. In 1755, he was imprisoned in Venice, but made a daring escape to Paris, where he made a fortune as director of a state lottery. In 1758, he became the librarian at the Castle of Dukes in Bohemia, where he wrote his memories in 12 scandalous volumes. Who was this legendary rogue and libertine? Time's up. The answer is Casanova. And for you history and literary buffs out there, I recognize now it was Memoirs was the title of that work. But since I pronounced the memories for North Branch, I felt only fair to pronounce it that way in the repeat. Here's your next toss-up. In his Tibetan monastery hidden away in the Himalayas, people lived to be 250 years old. What is this magical monastery found by Hugh Conway in James Hilton's 1933 novel, Jacob North Branch?
Shangri-La. Shangri-La.
That's correct. Here's your next toss-up. After graduating from Harvard, he ran his father's beer business into the ground before becoming a political pamphleteer. It's Jacob North Branch.
Payne.
That's incorrect. After graduating from Harvard, he ran his father's beer business into the ground before becoming a political pamphleteer. It's therefore ironic that a famous ale is named for him. Who was this? Blair Davison.
Samuel Adams.
Samuel Adams is the correct answer. There's the buzzer. That's going to end round one. And as you can see, North Branch is on top, but there are a lot of points to be scored yet in this game. Certainly, not the least of which is our lightning round. And Davison, you have the first crack at that. I'm about to give you your choice of 3 categories. Once you've selected, you'll have 60 seconds to answer up to 10 questions in that category. Remember, you may consult during this round, and you don't have to buzz in, but I'll only be accepting John's answers as team captain. If you don't know an answer, you must say pass before I continue. Davison, once your time is up, North Branch, you'll have an opportunity to answer any of the questions they failed to answer. Then you'll choose from the remaining 2 categories, and we'll repeat the process. Davison, your choices for today's round are a light workout, a game of jacks, or let's play doctor.
Jacks? What? Jacks? Sure. What'd you say? Jacks?
Yeah, if you want. Come on.
Try a game of jacks.
Jacks isn't just a kid's game. If you're a jack of all trades, you may be able to identify these people, places, and things with jack in the answer. Okay, they can be people, places, or things. Here we go. We begin with number 1. Reggie, Michael, Mahalia, Glenda, and Stonewall. Correct. It's one of the simplest dives to learn.
Jackknife?
That's correct. He played Jack Napier in the movie Batman.
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson?
Correct. He stuck in his thumb and pulled out a plum.
Little Jack Horner?
Correct. A hollowed pumpkin with a carved face in it.
Lantern.
That's correct. According to the Rolling Stones, he's a gas.
Jumping Jack Flash.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping Jack Flash?
Correct. He's decided he won't be a Republican candidate for president in 1996.
Jackson? Jesse
That's
Jackson?
incorrect. Wild dogs of Asia and Africa who feed on animals left by predators.
Jackals?
That's correct. Second baseman for the Brooklyn Dodgers, 1947 to 1956.
Jackie Robinson?
Correct. Blue Poles and Night Mist are some of his action paintings.
Yeah, is there another
That's the last one.
Guess I'm like
No
Jack
idea.
Okay, that will end you at the 10th question. You got 8 correct. We'll give you 80 points for that. We've reset to 30. North Branch, remember, there will be a form of Jack in the answer. He's decided he won't be a Republican candidate for
Jack
president.
Kemp?
Pardon me?
Jack Kemp?
Kemp is correct. Finally, Blue Poles and Night Mist are among some of his action paintings.
Jackson Pollock?
Jackson Pollock is the correct answer there. So all 10 questions get answered correctly on that side. 80 points go to Davison, 20 to North Branch. And North Branch, you may now select between a light workout and let's play doctor.
Light. We'll take a light workout.
Okay, we hope this quiz will be light work for you. It should be. Every answer includes the word light. So for a delightful 10 points, I read these, I don't write them. Identify the following. Here we go. We begin with number 1. Benjamin Franklin invented this electrical conductor in 17...
Lightning rod.
That's correct. According to the Bible, God's first 4 words.
Let there be light.
Correct. Stephen Foster's song inspired by his wife's tresses.
Light in August.
Incorrect. 300,000 kilometers a second.
Light year.
Light year.
Pardon me?
Light year.
It's incorrect. Tennyson's poem about the Battle of
Charge the
Baklava.
Light Brigade.
That's correct. Delirious, giddy, faint, frivolous, and silly.
Lightheaded.
Lightheaded.
That's correct. A fighter who weighs between 130
Lightweight.
That's correct. Rod Serling created this television series of
Twilight Zone.
That's correct. A firefly.
Lightning bug.
That's correct. Light that lies between X-rays and visible light.
Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet light.
That's correct. And so you two score 80 points, 8 correct. And we're reset to 30 seconds. Davison, remember, light will be in the answer. Here we go. First, Stephen Foster's song inspired by his wife's tresses.
Here with the light brown hair.
That's correct. 300,000 kilometers a second.
Speed of light.
The speed of light is what I needed there. And so all 20 questions in our lightning round answered correctly. Turns out to be a wash, 80-20 both ways. We'll still have to total those scores. So we'll be back for some extra credit right after this. As you would expect in a semifinal game in this tournament, it's a very close one indeed, and even closer when you consider that there are more points to gather in this third extra credit round. Teams, as you know, you'll be answering 10-point toss-up questions, which will give you the right to 10 points of extra credit on an additional question. Remember, you may consult on the extra credit questions only. The next time you hear our buzzer, that will signal the end of the game. At that point, we will continue the extra credit cycle on the question where we are all the way to completion. Good luck. Here we go. Of the 10 most expensive paintings ever sold, 7 are the works of 2 artists, a 19th century Dutchman and a 20th century Spaniard named Ryan Northbranch.
Van Gogh and Picasso.
That's correct, and I needed them both. Northbranch, your extra credit. These 2 medical terms sound the same but are spelled differently. One is part of the small intestine. The other is a bone that forms part of the pelvis. Name either one, and you will have named them both. Ilium is correct. Here's your next toss-up, teams. Before she died in 1993 at the age of 99, she was still directing her legendary dance company in performances of such works as El Penitente, Primitive Mysteries, and Acts of Light. Who was this pioneer of modern dance? Time's up. You don't watch enough public television. Martha Graham is the answer. Here's your next toss-up. Ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in 1915, it exempted from economic and literacy requirements anyone eligible to vote on January 1st. Jacob Northbranch.
Grandfather clause.
That's the correct answer. Northbranch, your extra credit. Naught, nada, nil, null, nix. To what quantity do all of these words refer?
Zero.
That's correct. Your next toss-up, teams. October 18th, 1867 marked the formal transfer of this territory from Russia to the United States. Grant, Northbranch.
Alaska.
Alaska is correct. Northbranch, your extra credit. It's bordered on the west by Israel and on the east by Iraq and Saudi Arabia. What is this kingdom in the Middle East?
Syria.
It's incorrect. The answer I needed is Jordan. Here's your next toss-up. His real name is Alonzo Quixano. Ryan, Northbranch.
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote is the correct answer. Carbolic, carbonic, acetic, amino, ascorbic. What chemical compounds do all these adjectives describe?
Acids.
Acids is correct. This is a toss-up, teams. In 1896, Baron Pierre de Coubertin organized a revival. Bob, Northbranch.
The Olympics.
The Olympics is the correct answer. Your extra credit, Northbranch. In March 1968, U.S. soldiers massacred more than 300 men, women, and children in this small village in South Vietnam.
Melee.
What was it?
Melee.
Melee.
That's correct.
It's all three.
On a Cartesian plane, a point with two positive coordinates. Bob, North Branch.
The first quadrant.
That's incorrect. On a Cartesian plane, a point with two positive coordinates is found in the first quadrant. In which quadrant would you find a point with two negative? Sean, Davison.
3.
3 is correct. Davison, your extra credit. That wasn't a signal to the end, was it? Okay. It's a musical composition which suggests improvisation or freedom of form and style. In 1940, Walt Disney borrowed the word for the title for his animated anthology of classic. Pardon me?
Fantasia.
Fantasia is correct. Your next toss-up teams. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceedeth the fame which I have heard. To what Old Testament king? Ryan, North Branch.
Solomon.
Solomon is correct. North Branch, this is your extra credit. It's the color of the crescent and star on the flag of Algeria, the maple leaf on the flag of Canada, and the sun on the flag of Japan.
Red.
What color is it?
Red.
Red is correct. This is a toss-up, teams. Represented by the Greek letter lambda, it's equal to velocity divided by frequency. Bob, North Branch. Time's up. Sean, Davison.
Acceleration.
It's incorrect. I was on my way with the rest of the question looking for wavelength. Here's your next toss-up. Born in Salinas Valley, California, he knew the problem. Sean, Davison.
Steinbeck.
Steinbeck is correct. Davison, this is your extra credit. He was the German revolutionary philosopher who collaborated with Karl Marx in 1848 to produce the Communist Manifesto. Who was he?
Oh my God.
Who was that?
I need an answer. No answer? Friedrich Engels is what I needed. Here's your next toss-up. In the 1930s, he developed the open-ended logarithmic scale used... Ryan, North Branch.
Napier.
That's incorrect. In the 1930s, he developed the open-ended logarithmic scale used to measure the magnitude of an earthquake. Sean, Davison.
Richard.
That's correct. Davison, your extra credit. In 1950, Jose Ferrer won an Academy Award for playing this swashbuckling poet and swordsman. In 1990, Gerard Depardieu won rave reviews for his performance in the same role. Who is this romantic character?
Bergerac.
That's correct. Here's another toss-up, teams. It didn't do very much damage, but it did boost American morale. It was a bombing raid led by Colonel Jacob North Branch.
Tokyo.
Tokyo is the answer. And here is your extra credit, North Branch. When it was published in 1798, one critic called it the strangest story of cock and bull we ever saw on paper. What is this weird tale of green ice, 1,000 slimy things, a skeleton ship, water snakes, and an old sailor with a skinny hand and glittering eye?
Well, like, Captain Hook,
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
It's incorrect. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is what I was looking for. This is a toss-up, teams. A children's book might win the Newbery Medal. What kind of book might win a Ryan, North Branch?
Science fiction.
Science fiction is correct. Your extra credit, North Branch. In July 1952, it became the first independent commonwealth of the United States. What is this Caribbean island?
Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
That's correct. Okay, teams, this is a toss-up. Of all of Charles Dickinson's novel, it was his personal favorite. Ryan, North Branch.
David Copperfield.
David Copperfield is correct. North Branch, your extra credit. In 1774, the British Parliament passed 3 controversial laws concerning the colony of Massachusetts. The British called them the Coercive Acts. What name did the colonists give them?
Intolerable acts.
Intolerable Acts is the correct answer. This is a toss-up, teams. Without it, you would die. Every cell in your body depends on this waxy substance. Sean Davison. No answer. I will repeat. Without it, you would die. Every cell in your body depends on this waxy substance for membrane strength, but too much of it in the bloodstream can wind up inside artery walls and begin to choke the arteries. What is this steroid? Grant, North Branch.
Cholesterol.
Cholesterol is correct. The buzzer has sounded, but we do play to completion, so North Branch, you get the bonus. When talking about a color, artists distinguish between its value, hue, and saturation, which refers to the relative lightness or darkness of the color. Is it value, hue, or saturation?
Hue.
It's value. But it's a question that makes no difference in the final outcome. Congratulations to North Branch. You will move on to face Powers in this, our 1995 High School Challenge Championship round. We want to congratulate Davison for a very well-played season, and congratulations for making it to the Final Four, and good luck in any of your postseason competitions yet to come. We'll be back with that championship round, but first I will congratulate Davison and present them with their trophy for making it to the Final Four this season, and we'll see you shortly. John, nice season. John, congratulations. Good season.